This is my M2 MacBook Air, computer that I got just about a year ago for $800 because it was on sale. This is a base model, so that means 8 gigs of RAM, 256 gigs of storage. Now, the reason why I'm telling you that is to explain why I am upgrading and why I'm upgrading to the device that I upgraded to, which is a 14-inch M1 MacBook Pro. This model is space gray, has the 10-core M1 Pro chip with 1 terabyte of storage and 16 gigs of RAM. So double the RAM of my old M2 MacBook Air and quadruple the storage. This is something that I ran into constantly on my M2 Air, simply editing and storing stuff on the device. I ran out of RAM and it would often freeze up trying to clear the RAM while I was editing. That was annoying, so I decided to heck with it. I'm gonna upgrade to a newer, I said newer, a better computer. This is actually a year older than the M2 Air, but it is a better laptop. Anyway, I bought this from Loop Mobile on eBay, and he was a great seller, but shout out to FedEx for being a pile of trash, as always, because they attempted to deliver my package to a town that is over 50 miles away, which is ridiculous. Anyway, you can see right here, focus, the battery health percentage is 100% and the battery cycle count is 42. I will leave a link to the eBay listing where I bought this, but I will warn you, the price has gone up since I purchased it. I purchased it at $9.99. It is now $11.99, so it's about $200 more expensive. But I still think it's a pretty decent deal for what you're getting. So let's pop this open, slide out the bubble wrap, and let's take a look. It's definitely a lot thicker than my Air. So you can see MagSafe, 2 USB-C ports and a headphone jack, and on this side, HDMI, SD card slot, and another USB-C port. On the bottom says MacBook Pro. We'll set this off to the side. Now, it doesn't come with the original box, and I knew that when I bought it because the seller put a great description, but down here says other stuff, if I can do this here. So in here we have a power cable, not the official power cable, but a power cable, and a brick. And it seems to be larger than the brick that came with my Air, so that's neat. Let's see what size brick this is. Let's get this packaging out of the way. This is a 140 watt power adapter. That's a lot more power than the Air. My Air one is like, I think 30 watts. I've come to the conclusion that this knockoff power adapter is not the safest thing. Charge my MacBook, not only does it cycle the power on and off, yesterday I noticed it was making a decently loud hissing sound. Yeah, I can hear it. Yeah, that is not a good sound. The other charger I have that's the official Apple one doesn't do this. So if you're gonna buy this MacBook off of eBay, don't use this charger. You need to budget in some expense for a proper Apple one or a aftermarket, but still quality USB-C power supply. So take this from me. Cheap Chinese knockoff Apple chargers are junk. Let's compare them to machines. So here's the MacBook Pro. Here's the MacBook Air. I'm gonna zoom out even though you can see I'm filming this on top of my dresser. You can see that the reason why I have it normally zoomed in is so that it's just the black space and not the rest of the set. But anyway, you can see that the Air is significantly thinner and also smaller. If I place it on top, you can see that the Pro is a bit wider and a bit taller, a bit deeper. And that gives it that 14-inch display versus the 13.6-inch display, I believe, that's on the M2 Air. Let's compare the thickness. The Air is much thinner, much thinner. To be honest, when I got my Air, this is the thickness that I was expecting from the Air, but it was way thinner than I thought when I got it. Anyway, pop this thing open. Oh, it's already turned on. It must have saw me moving it around. And so this thing is actually like, it was refurbished, but it's pretty much in perfect shape. I can't notice any flaws at all. I do notice that the notch seems, you guys can see that, the notch on the top seems to be a little bit less tall than the notch on the Air, which is interesting. And this is a mini LED panel, so it does get brighter than the Air and is 120 hertz refresh rate, which the Air is 60 hertz and is just a basic LED. But let's compare the two machines side by side. They are both space gray, so that's neat. So yeah, you can see the Pro is quite a bit bigger, and the trackpad is bigger. I also noticed it's a slightly darker color than the trackpad, and I do like the black surround around the keyboard versus the silver surround on the Air. And you will notice my Air does have a matte screen protector. I will peel that off right now to show you guys. I can't really pull it off. There's not enough of a lip on there, but it's a glossy screen. That's the reason why I got the screen protector. While it does make the screen look significantly worse, it allows you to work in those lighting conditions where that is an issue. Anyway, I am not in Afghanistan. We'll do United States. No accessibility. We will log into, actually, which one is this Wi-Fi network on? Because I believe it needs to be on the same network to transfer. So it's on Netgear 47. We'll type in my password. So we'll do this. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer everything on this MacBook to this MacBook via the wireless transfer. It shouldn't actually be that much data because I believe this thing only has about 60 gigs of storage used because I deleted a crap ton of stuff to make this transfer go quicker. I should never run out of storage on this because my Windows PC has every single game in my Steam library installed and I still have 100 gigs to spare. So 1 terabyte is plenty for me. Data and privacy, let's continue. I'm also going to uninstall some games on here because I have a plan for playing games on this that I am going to do. So I'm going to uninstall Polybridge 2 and 3. So migration assistant, we are going to do from a Mac or Time Machine backup. I do want to transfer. So let's, it's still got some plastic wrap on it. That's okay. All right. Transfer information from, or to this Mac, sorry. Select a Mac or Time Machine backup to, do I have to go to, stop doing that. Why are you like pulsing on and off? Keeps making like the charging sound. Anyway, we're going to do, I think I need to go to Finder and go to excuse me? What are you doing? I wonder if that charger's weird. Let's see if I can do, I mean, it has a decent amount of battery, over half, so it should be okay. And it's not transferring that much. I'm looking for, it's in here somewhere. Migration assistant? Oh, it's in utilities, I think. Yeah, migration assistant, that's what I need. Okay, continue. Let's do that. Closing applications, logging out. Let's see if I plug this into this other MacBook, if it starts doing weird stuff. Yeah, it's doing weird stuff over here as well. So it's the charger. Going to another Mac. So connect to AC power. So we're gonna connect it just so it can bypass that. All right, so we want to do my MacBook Air. The codes match. Okay, can you not? So yeah, I'll try another outlet later, but that charger might be. But at least I know it's not an issue with the computer because a different computer that works perfectly fine is doing it as well. So it's the charger. Honestly, this kind of makes me wish I would have just gone with the MacBook Pro to begin with, because I already like it a lot more. So yes, I would like to do all information. I'm gonna set a password. Now it's gonna move everything over via Wi-Fi. Curious how long this is gonna take. I also saw online that you can connect via a Thunderbolt 3 cable, which I don't have, but it does increase the data transfer speed significantly. I might try it later with just a regular USB-C and see if that does anything. I'm not expecting that to work, but I could try it just to see. I do have it's an Oculus Link cable. That's probably Thunderbolt, I would guess, or some similar communication standard, I would guess. It's a high data transfer cable, but we'll just see how long this is estimated to take with the current amount of data that it has. My Wi-Fi is a decent speed. I'm getting about, on the 2.4 gigahertz, which is what these are connected to, is about 100 megs, 150 download-ish in between there. Fluctuates depending on the day. So this shouldn't take too long. And this video is gonna be edited on my new MacBook, the M1 Pro. What also kind of concerns me is this laptop case. Pretty much perfectly fits the Air, and I don't think it'll fit the Pro. It might, but just barely. I'm gonna have to squeeze it in. So it says about 3 hours, 39 minutes remaining. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab that link cable. Now it is USB-A on one end, so I do have to use this adapter, which might slow down the transfer a little bit, but we'll find out. Whoa. Adapter to the Air, and plug in the not adapter side. We'll actually just plug it in on this USB-C port over here. There it is. Plugging that in. And it says it's charging, but that means it's charging over. Okay, now it says Ethernet. So it might do, it did decrease the time, but I don't know if that's because I plugged in the cable. Anyway, it seems that this MacBook is actually charging this MacBook. You might actually only need one power adapter for this. Oh, there we go. Megabits per second is going up pretty fast. Look at it go. Gonna hit 200 megabits per second. I mean, this should be like pretty fast cable. This should be at least a few gigabits per second, probably 5 at least. Yeah, but now we're down to about 46 minutes remaining. It was at 3 hours, 46 minutes, so I'm gonna stop this recording and come back when it's done. There is this little button that says connection details. I'm gonna click it and see what it does. Okay, so it is doing Ethernet, which is good. Anyway, this is going surprisingly fast. I'm really happy with this system. So Apple, you've done a really good job with making this a very quick and easy process. And this one says done, so we're just gonna click done here. Okay, so we'll log in with, oh, this one's rebooting. It should copy my wallpaper and my desktop as well. It should be the exact same setup, just on a different machine. So I think we're almost there. Completing migration. Okay. Okay, so it's a different wallpaper. Oh, wrong password. Give it a second. Verification code. Okay, I've plugged in the code. I needed to stop the recording on my iPhone to actually get the code because this had signed itself out of iCloud for some reason. But now it should be going. And it did transfer dark mode over, and it looks like it transferred the wallpaper in the background, so that's nice. Yes, I would like to set up Touch ID. That's what I like about MacBooks is like, yes, like Windows Hello exists, but in my experience, Touch ID is just easier. Apple Pay, welcome to Mac. Give it a few seconds because it's loading stuff. Continue. And here we are. So, better snap tool. Yeah. I also noticed the click sounds different. Anyway, we're going to unplug, which worked and didn't break anything, which is good. So everything seems to be here. Documents. Anyway, everything pretty much just transferred over. But, whoops. It's a 10 core, yeah, right here. So you can see, obviously Geekbench is not perfect. No benchmarking software is perfect, but you can see that is at least a 25% improvement over the Air in multi-core, probably because it has more cores. This is probably an 8 core, this is a 10, so it's actually the single core performance on the Air is a little bit better, but the overall performance is higher on the Pro just because it has more cores. So you can scroll down. My plan for gaming is I'm actually going to run Parallels on this, and I tried running Parallels on my my MacBook Air here, and it worked, but it struggled a little bit because of the lack of memory. So I'm curious if this 16 gig model is going to be significantly better. I do already have Parallels Desktop on the desktop, at least I think I did. It might have deleted. Oh no, here it is. That's interesting. It kind of moves some stuff around. Anyway, we're going to download and install the update for Parallels. And that means since I have so much more space, I can afford to put a dedicated Windows operating system on this hard drive versus with this one, it pretty much filled my storage to the brim. So yeah, I'm really glad I have more storage on this one. So it's almost finished. On this one, yep. Software agreement, administer. All right, we're going to install, or should I use Tiny 11? Nah, we're gonna use regular Windows 11. On this one, I experimented with Tiny 11, which is a stripped down version of Windows 11. And it did make a decent difference on the storage, but not that much. The more thing with Tiny 11 is it's got less crap pre-installed, so that might make it run better, but yeah, I don't really know. Windows 11, it's installing some more crap. Anyway, it's installing Windows 11, which is weird because it's on a MacBook. I am extremely satisfied with this upgrade. For only 200 bucks more than I bought this, you can get double the storage, quadruple the RAM, 20% better CPU, a much nicer screen, way more ports, better cooling, and better speakers. That's such a no-brainer. So like, it's almost like the M2 Air is almost obsolete in my eye. The only benefit that this legitimately has is portability, is significantly lighter and significantly thinner. Speaking of running out of space, my iPhone just ran out of storage space, so I had to quickly go and clear some so I could keep recording this video. Here we are on the the thingy. On the desktop, except the Windows license agreement. Windows 11 successfully installed, so I'm honestly confused how they did it, because if you didn't know that this was a MacBook, if you just actually full screen, like if I click full screen like this, you'd never really know that it was a MacBook. So when I'm recording this exact clip, I've been using the M1 MacBook Pro as my daily machine for a single day, and I will say I do love this machine. The 120 Hz screen is great, and the excess amounts of storage means that I can actually have Windows 11 installed to play all my games on the go. Yes, it's not ideal because it limits it to only 4 CPU cores and 8 GB gigs of RAM, but it works perfectly fine for what I need it to do. This looks so wrong right here. But anyway, Steam. And I will say, compared to my M2 Air, the speakers are significantly better. And I do like the feel of the keyboard a little bit more. It's just a little bit more tactile. Not by much, but just a little bit. The only thing I do really like about the Air over the Pro is the weight. The Pro is significantly heavier, but you gain way more ports on both sides. More ports, fans. So far, better battery life, more performance, more storage, more RAM, bigger screen, better keyboard, better speakers. Now, to be fair, Polybridge 3 is a Mac compatible game, but I only wanted to have to install Steam one time versus twice, so that's why I'm running Polybridge through Parallels versus through just Mac OS. There you go. So Polybridge 3 works, and I've tested BeamNG, Jalopy, all the Polybridges, 1, 2, and 3. I've tested Trailmakers, that works. The only game that I've tried to do and hasn't worked is Teardown. I'm not sure why. I'm guessing it has to do something with the drivers that Parallels doesn't have, but Parallels Desktop does work. And within that one day, I have done some very light video editing. I've made 2 YouTube shorts that I still need to upload. But as you can see, DaVinci Resolve opens pretty quick if I open up the project. Well, I deleted all the files from my hard drive just to not take up too much space, but yeah, you can see DaVinci Resolve works perfectly. So if you're looking for a MacBook, the 14-inch M1 Pro MacBook Pro is still a very good value, especially for $1,000. Getting a terabyte and 16 gigs of RAM with the upgraded and not the base CPU is an extremely good deal for a modern MacBook. Anyway, that's the end of this video. See y'all in the next one. Bye.